followed that pace module, and that helped me because it takes a quiz, and through that your performance in that quiz, it tells you that you don't have to study these sections, and it's very accurate about your strengths and your weaknesses. And I would like to say that I blindly followed whatever it told me that you should study in these sections. e-GMAT really helped me achieve it because if I would have I would have chosen any other platform, I don't think that the you know eh, the course would be that comprehensive. It not only conceptually, it not only strengthens you, it also pinpoints where you are lacking, where your weak areas are. Especially that L20 system, that your last 20 questions, it assesses you based on that. But when you go in the student interaction, the student can ask question on any explanation. Yeah. So I asked them a question regarding my problem. So they replied to me, and replied to me very much in time. In I think more often than not, I got the answer next day itself. So I was so it was a very good experience that whenever you have any doubts, you can just ask them. And
So, welcome everybody. Welcome, Rishabh. Today we have a very, very special guest with us, Rishabh, who scored an amazing 745 on his recent GMAT, a humongous 130-point improvement to that 745 with a brilliant, perfect Q90, a V85, and a DI86. So, Rishabh, congratulations again. It's been quite a journey. How does it feel to be here, finally looking at that score pop up on your screen?
yeah, thanks a lot. It feels amazing. Even though I knew that I'll get a 745 or maybe a 55 or even higher or maybe lower 35 or 25. But even after, knowing that I could get it, when I got the official score, I was so happy for like, even now it feels unreal.
Yeah, it does. It does. I remember when you WhatsApped me the score, I was like, oh, wow, I almost jumped out of my seat. So I can just imagine how happy you were. So,
Yeah.
Rishabh, yeah. As I said, it has been one of a journey. Before we get on, congratulations on being a father again. Congratulations
Yeah.
on your newborn baby boy. So, Rishabh, back to back good news. So, in terms of this prep, you put in a lot of work and hard work and a lot of ups and downs. But before we get into that journey and speak about what happened, how things work out, tell us something about yourself.
So I'm a development officer at LIC of India. That's a public sector organization. For it's like the biggest financial institute of India and biggest life insurance institute also. So I was kind of in a stable position. My posting is at my home, my family home. So I live with my parents, my wife, and now I have two children. Earlier I had one only. So life was good. It was fine. But I always had aspirations, and people used to keep telling me you should aim for a bit higher. You can do better because I used to be the topper of my class and in school and everything. So, but I felt like I'm in a stable position and I am living with my family, which was more important for me. But when I got the news that I'm gonna get another child, have another child, and even though things could be fine right now, but I thought that I should aim for a bit higher. And also, I got bored of doing the same thing for like 6 years. I thought that now is the time. So one day, suddenly, I decided after I think my birthday, it was on 17th of June. So one day, I realized that yeah, I should start preparing for GMAT, and I researched for a week. I asked for my friends that what should I do, where should I prepare. So one of my friends who is in I am Indore, so he is taking a weekend course there. So he scored a 710 score, and he took a course. He took the coaching from e-GMAT only. He recommended me, and one of my friends recommended him who scored I think 760 in GMAT Classic. Yeah. So he told me that it's the best platform, and you should prepare from there only. So I also saw a few platforms, but I thought that yeah, he's my good friend, and when I took the trial version, and I took a few classes. So I liked the class, and I like the way they explain everything. And it was a bit new for me, especially in the verbal section, because in the verbal section, as you know, here in India, what we study and what is asked in competitive exams, so it's very different from GMAT. So and I thought that yeah, I'll be able to learn something new, and that was a big plus for me. So I chose e-GMAT. That's why, and I think that was a really good decision, because anyone can teach you. Because I didn't need to, get taught like very um, mm, I am not able to say the word like I don't need much attention, or like you don't have to explain me everything very
Got it.
like a child. So, but
Mm.
um, where I'm committing mistakes and where I'm taking a lot of time. So especially the pinpointing areas and the strategy, how to
Got
prepare
it.
for a GMAT, how to prepare for a score. Just when I logged in, I had to submit my mock score and what was my target score, and how many hours you have to take. So it was everything was planned out for me, so I didn't have to think much about it. I just all I did was follow that routine, even though
Got
I
it.
accelerated a lot, because initially I was thinking about 4 month preparation, but I did it. I think I just studied for 1.5 months, and I
Yeah.
think because a few days I couldn't study because of office commitments or the family commitments. I think
Mhm.
I would have so I just fast tracked it a bit. But the pattern I followed was exactly the same as e-GMAT recommended me, and I think that was very fruitful for me.
Got it. Got it. That's very heartening to hear. So Rishabh, what we were talking about the study plan that you created once you came on e-GMAT, on board the
Yeah,
e-GMAT. So the first thing you did was take a mock to understand what your
yeah,
current ability. And your score in the mock was a 615 with a V79, Q81, and a DI81. From there, you
yeah.
improved to an amazing, perfect Q90, a 9-point improvement, 9-point improvement in verbal to a V85, and a 5-point improvement to a DI85. So, getting started with that mock score, what was your assessment? What was your biggest fear getting into the prep?
I think after I took the mock and I got 615, I knew because most of the things, especially in DI and in verbal, are new to me. So I'll be able to improve a lot of, improve a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not very worried about it. And I was very confident after taking the mock that even though I've scored 615, but that is after a gap of like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'll get a good, good course, because at the time I didn't know. So if I'll get a good, preparation, so I think I'll be able to get a good score. And even in my target, I select. I think I put there 755 or 785 just because I thought that yeah I should score
Mm-hmm.
very high, because I didn't want to score high just to get a good college or anything. I like to do anything I do. I think that I should do it exceptionally well.
That is good. That
So
shows.
yeah, that was my thinking behind it, and I think that e-GMAT really helped me achieve it, because if I would have chosen any other platform. I don't think that the you know eh, the course would be that comprehensive. It not only conceptually, it not only strengthens you, it also pinpoints where you are lacking, where your weak areas are, especially that L20 system, that
Yeah.
your last 20 questions, it assesses you based on that. Because if I attempted like a question incorrectly before like 50 questions, so there is no point assessing me on that, because
Mhm.
now I would have evolved from that. So it was great. And I focused after my first attempt, in which I messed up and I scored a bit low. So I strategized, and big thanks to you, because when I took my mocks, you mailed me regarding where I'm lacking, even though I was getting like 705 and all. You mailed me like where should I improve, where I'm taking a lot of time, where I'm attempting incorrectly, what should I do. The best thing about you told me that I shouldn't be too persistent with the questions I'm weak in, or I'm taking too much time. I should learn how to skip a few questions. And if I had listened to it earlier, maybe I would have scored this much in my first attempt. So,
Mhm.
but I was like adamant that I have to solve like everything. And the most important thing in GMAT is to learn where to skip the questions, because
Got it.
one or two questions in which you spend a lot of time will mess up all your the rest of your questions and the whole section.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Got it. So, Rishabh, you spoke about three things, right? One
Mm.
is the foundation, knowing concepts, knowing approaches as to how
Yeah,
to solve the question. The second part is the practice, wherein you need a whole lot of data analytics to see whether
yeah.
you're moving in the right direction, what your weakness, and try to fix that. And your third
Mm.
part is the test taking, which is, your mocks and sectional mocks and all
Yeah,
that. So coming to the first part, the concept, the foundation kind of a stage. So you did the
yeah.
entire verbal course, you did Quant also, you
Mm.
did DI also. And you mentioned one very, very interesting thing as we were, uh, discussing your journey, speaking about your journey, that especially GMAT verbal sort of changed the way you think, changed,
Yeah, it changed my
your
perspective.
thought process. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
please tell
definitely.
us about
So
that.
Yeah, so the friend that recommended me your course, he told me that when you'll start preparing for GMAT, you'll realize you are getting smarter. So, and I realized that too, because here in India we just focus on the grammar, the vocab,
Mm-hmm.
and all. So there in GMAT, that's a prerequisite. They assume that you are great at grammar, you are great at vocab, but the best you should be at is the way you think. You should know what kind of assumption the author is making, and you should know how to evaluate his statements and all. So I think that that was the biggest difference in the test which I had taken before, like in competitive exams and all. So e-GMAT helped me a lot, because whenever I was incorrectly attempting any question, so when you see it, why you like why that option is incorrect and the correct
Mm-hmm.
option, more often than not, you get perspective and you realize that yeah, I should have done it like this, and you started thinking in your daily life like that also.
Got it.
Also, many times you are not even satisfied by the answer that you think that it's wrong and you are right. The way you attempted is the right answer. But when you go in the student interaction, the student can ask question on any
Correct.
explanation. Yeah, so more often than not, whenever I was unsatisfied, so whenever I opened that section, so I didn't even need to ask the question regarding which I had doubts. I could just see many other students had asked question regarding that, and I could read the answers by the team, the e-GMAT
Mm-hmm.
team. So I was satisfied by those. Sometimes maybe nobody had asked question regarding that question. Sometimes it was a new question, or maybe sometimes. I was not even satisfied by the answer of the team. So I asked them a question regarding my problem. So
Mm-hmm.
they replied to me and replied to me very much in time. In I think more often than not, I got the answer next day itself. So I
Got it.
was yeah. So it was a very good experience that whenever you have any doubts, you can just ask them, and there was they pretty much cleared every doubt
Got it.
whenever.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, Rishabh, you also mentioned when it comes to RC, reading strategies,
Yeah. Yeah.
initially your approach was to read fast, read 3 to 4
Yeah.
times, reread it. But the reading strategies on the course sort of changed the way you approach RC. And since you mentioned the L20 accuracy, I want to start
Yeah.
by showing the L20 accuracy that you have for verbal, which is really, really brilliant, right? So, if we look at your hard accuracy, and I think I'll have to move us here. So brilliant hard accuracy, 75%, 70%, that is a V85, V6 right there, right? The SATs did predict that you will get here, right? And see, it is not an isolated thing. That is where I said the effort that you put into the foundation, like in this case, if we look at your CR and you will look at the course grades, they're all A grades, which means that, while the practice helped you get there, but essentially what really helped you get there towards there is the rock solid foundation that you had built. For example, in RC, to unlearn the approach that you had and relearn the reading strategies, how to
Yeah.
read slowly, because it is an effort, right? You're used to reading a certain way, and here you are like, okay, no, I can't read this way. So tell us about how did you go about doing that, and what impact did you see that on your score?
Yeah, so as you said, I told you earlier that I kind of rushed through everything. I just and that was the biggest problem with me in all the three sections. Even in quant, sometimes I used to in quant, if you skip just one word, you skip odd or
Mm-hmm.
you skip even, so your whole answer is incorrect. So I used to rush through everything. So when in RC, they told me that you should read slowly, and you should they told me about the significance of points. So that's really important, because when you are even if you are reading slowly and you are understanding, you have to take a bit of time to consume all the information you are reading, and to think about it, and strategize is a later stage, although, but yeah, you should take a bit of time, and that is more time saving than rushing through it and having to read it again and again and again for every single question. So that was the most important thing. And yeah, I had to leave that habit of rushing through it, and to start like re-strategize everything.
Got it.
But that was really helpful, and I implemented at a very earlier stage. That's why I was getting good grades, because if anything, I realized that nobody's perfect, and whenever we are committing any mistake, and so we should, as soon as we learn it, we'll be better than we were before.
Yes, yes. It is what you very beautifully said was, It is to acknowledge that nobody is perfect. It is to acknowledge that
Yeah.
maybe what I'm doing is not right. And if you trusted a system, then trust it and learn the new approach. And we can see, right? Amazing, like 9 point improvement to V85 is really, really amazing. Uh, Rishabh, coming to points, you were at an 81. But you did do the
Yeah.
entire course. You mentioned you were not as scared of Quant, but still you did the
Yeah.
entire e-GMAT course before you moved to cementing and sectional mocks kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So what value did doing the course have? And how did it help you get to that perfect Q90?
Yeah, even though I got in few sections I got good score in the my first mock, but still I realized that I should complete the whole course just because um, I had no idea about the GMAT exam, and I thought that maybe I'm good in some section. I may not get the same question in the exam, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe I did good on that section in that mock, but in the exam on same topic the question could be different. I could commit
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, so I thought that. I should give extra time, even though I think I took way more time than e-GMAT recommended me on that quant sections. But I thought that it will be worth it because, as I told you, I try to do everything what I
Yes,
do, yeah, perfectly. So I thought that saving time is not that worth it. I could then I took more time out of my day just to get. I can't say perfect at it because I can't be perfect in anything. But yeah, to be very good at it, I think.
got it. And I think pace helped you a great deal here when you said,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
About pace, I would like to say that pace helped me really because it told me that you don't have to study these sections and study those sections. So I blindly followed that pace
Mm-hmm.
module, and that helped me because it takes a quiz, and through that, your performance in that quiz, it tells you that you don't have to study these
Yeah.
sections. And even a few sections in which I attempted good in that quiz, assessment quiz or whatever it's called, but later I committed mistakes in one or two. Then I revisited I
Got it.
think couple of sections. But yeah, 99% of the time it's very accurate about your strengths and your weaknesses. And I would like to say that I blindly followed whatever it
Yeah.
told me that you should study in these sections.
I know. And you saved what, 47 hours of your quant prep time thanks to pace. And here,
Yeah,
like in algebra, it was 12
it's
hours, 14
like a
hours.
month of study.
Exactly, right? And just to see the pace in action, you took these diagnostic quizzes. Your score here was
Mm.
100%, and you can see that you skipped
Yeah.
all the files except the final validation files. But at the
Yeah.
same time, here in the module 2, it was 92%, 80%. So clearly there were certain areas of weakness that pace was able
Hmm.
to identify and point out which files to
Yeah.
go through, right? And as you said, juggling many hats, soon to be new father, your own
Yeah.
business, your LIC
Office
thing.
work.
With all that, this time saving really, really comes in handy, right?
Yeah.
Now coming to DI, what
Mm.
was the use of doing verbal quant and then DI? What were your challenges? Because 86 is 99 percentile, so
Yeah.
amazing improvement there again. So tell me what helped from 79 percentile to a 99 percentile is a huge jump.
Yeah, it was. And I thought that in DI I should be very good at because in DI is mostly, it quant based and I'm good in math. I have always been good at math. But when I attempted DI and when
Mm-hmm,
I was studying, and I think I'm not sure if you see my score, my performance is not that good comparatively. So, but I realized that I have to up my game in DI because
mm-hmm,
uh, it whatever I studied like reasoning we study here in other competitive exams, it's like a tier below, to be very honest. Like you have to keep up your speed in reasoning in other competitive exam, but the level is not that high, I would say.
mm-hmm,
And yeah, so e-GMAT helped me a lot because I solved a lot of questions. And in the first attempt I took, I scored I think 76 because I messed it up. There
mm-hmm,
were other reasons, but
mm-hmm,
when I came home, I saw especially in what questions I'm committing mistakes, especially in MSR. Yeah, and you helped me
mm-hmm.
a lot with it also, and you pinpointed to me in my mocks that you are taking a lot of time in these type of questions. You should,
Yeah.
if you are facing problem, then you should skip these type of questions because
Mm-hmm,
generally they take a lot of time and you are incorrectly attempting these kind of questions. So even though the module told me earlier, but I didn't focus it that much, focus on it. But when you told me and when you made me realize, yeah, like I had a good performance, but here are the areas where I can improve. So that helped me a lot. And the biggest improvement I think I made was in this. DI section itself.
Yeah.
So this the module was a great help because and in DI I didn't know much about it. From my prior experience. So anything I learned about DI, so that I learned from this module itself.
Yeah. And again, here, if I were to open any of your DI performances, it's mostly A grades. So again, see, we see the success, we see the 745 that you got. But what got you here, again, coming back to was, the investment that you put into building this foundation, which again led to, I would say, brilliant, brilliant hard stats. 80% is like amazing, right? So a section which you hardly knew anything about to a section where you
Yeah.
had such brilliant stats is really, really good. And that brings us to the stats bit of it, right, Trisha? Because you mentioned that initially what was happening was your focus was on just solving the question. And from there you
Yeah.
got into seeing, okay, did I take longer on this kind of
Yeah.
questions? Why did I take longer? And that strategic review and learning to listen to the data and observing it and
Yeah.
improving based on that became important. So what all features did you use? How did you identify these things? And what all work did you put into that?
Yeah, so as e-GMAT like pinpoints it out for you in the sections you are making mistakes, in the sections there's I'm taking a lot of time. So I practiced on those questions and I strategized like if I'm getting this kind of question, I should solve like this. And also I was making a lot of silly mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest reason for my low scores or not be able to score up to my potential. So when I practiced again and again, I kind of realized the pattern of questions that are asked, and also kudos to your team for curating those questions which are very similar to the actual exam, like
Mm-hmm.
the pattern of the question. So in the exam there are no surprises at all. So everything as I told you earlier, in all the three sections, I could have scored even higher, just if I would have attempted up to my potential, because in every section I saved like 5 minutes. I was over with my exam in I think 2 hours. My time was 1 p.m. and if you see the time I texted you my score, it
Yeah,
was before 3 p.m. and that is
3 p.m.
accounting for the time when you are done with your exam and they let you go. So it's a 5 to 10 minutes process also. So I was done with it in like 2 hours, or I don't know, 1 hour 50 minutes. So I see like I didn't feel anything challenging in the exam, and I got the score. Even though I was very happy, I thought that yeah, I knew everything. There was no question that challenged me, to be very honest. So I could have even gotten 90 in DI, in DI
Yeah,
especially. In verbal, I knew I scored low because I was feeling a bit out of focus because I didn't even take a break. So I was feeling a bit lethargic by the time of verbal. So I think I would recommend everyone that yeah, you should be feeling fresh in your third section. So we should take a 5 to 10 minute break before the
yeah,
third section, especially. So that was one of the mistakes I committed in the DI. I think I like maybe I could have committed a silly mistakes in one or two questions that resulted in 86 in the DI section. Otherwise, I was very comfortable. I saved more than 5 minutes in every of the section. That is accounting for the fact that questions I selected for reviewing. After reviewing everything,
wow.
after taking time like randomly reviewing a few questions, which I think like
Mm-hmm.
even after that I saved more than 5 minutes in every section, because the biggest reason was there were no surprises. I'd solved all the questions in which I was facing problems, so there was nothing new in the exam.
Yeah, that is that is so heartening to hear. And the fact that in DI, wherein people generally are, rushing for time towards the end, you had 5 minutes
Yeah.
left after reviewing, which is really, that goes again, right? That you invested that time, you invested that energy,
Yeah.
you had a very, very data-driven uh, uh, you know, approach to the way you
Approach.
were
Yeah.
looking at questions and improving. So
Yeah.
it all culminated in this. But Rishabh, honestly, I think getting into your first test, wherein you got a 625, and just what,
625. Yeah.
15, 20 days down the line, you got a
Yeah.
745, right?
Yeah.
So what happened in that first attempt? Because you were as prepared. Maybe there were certain,
Yeah.
after our call, you got more
A bit less
insights into
prepared.
the data.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
you gave me a good insights, and um, I think if in my first attempt, although I messed it up, especially in the DI section, I got stuck in one MSR question, and because it's a combination of three questions, I just couldn't let it go, because I thought that if I skip it, I have to skip three questions, and out of those three questions, only one I attempted correctly, I think. But because of that, I incorrectly attempted almost every question after that. Maybe
Mm,
two or three correct attempts in like the last 10 questions. So what changed was that I convinced myself that I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any question, and I was not prepared to like skip it for not spending much time. I thought about it like this, that there's not gonna be a single question which will have me taking a lot of time. So
Got it.
yeah, so I took it like that, and even if I get a question and I feel like that, yeah, I'm taking a lot of time, so I will skip it. um, but there should not be a possibility of me having to skip a question, because
Yeah.
that to be very honest, it is a criticism of myself by myself, that I just can't let it go. It's a ego thing, I
Yeah.
can't answer question.
I
But you
understand that, but
Mhm.
sorry to cut you here. See, the thing
Yeah.
is, it's an adaptive test. It is meant to see where you hit
Mhm.
the wall. So there will come a
Yeah.
question or two which will be sort of out of scope for you. So I think it should
Yeah.
be okay, and that is what again helped you in the
Yes, so
second
I was
attempt, right?
prepared for that, just because you told me that you will have to skip a few questions
Yeah.
and you should not shy away from it. But thankfully, I didn't. I didn't have to skip anything.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I was prepared for that.
that's very good to know. And I think you were way more confident getting into the test this time because earlier
Yeah,
the marks were in the range of 695,
it's
705. And
705.
mainly
Yeah,
again because of your inability to let go of a question more than not
yeah,
knowing,
yeah,
you know, how to solve a question. But then that slowly transformed, and I have your sort of mock scores before the second attempt that you took here. Two
yeah,
mocks on the Sigma X platform, they were both 755, 745, very, very
yeah,
close to the score that you got. These two marks were taken before the first attempt. These two were taken after the first attempt. So just
yeah.
10 points here and there to the score that you got. So amazing achievement, Rishabh. It makes me very, very glad. All of us at e-GMAT are super, super proud of your story and achievement.
Thank you.
So, Rishabh, just as a parting thought, are there any takeaways that you want to share with other people who are still preparing for the GMAT?
Yeah, I think I've said almost everything.
Yeah, you have.
But yeah, I would like to say to everyone that trust the process. Sometimes you will have doubts that whatever the course is telling you, you will starting having second thoughts that maybe your way is the correct one, and whatever the course is telling you, maybe it's not. But no, you should trust the process. You should trust the modules. And sometimes you should. The most important thing is you should trust your strengths and work on your weaknesses. And the third thing I would like to say is you should self-assess and aim like and the biggest thing that GMAT helps you is it asks you what is your target, and it tells you also. So
Mm,
in a few videos I watched, Rajat told us that you should aim for a score like this and that.
mhm.
So it gives you a very realistic target, what score you should achieve and how you can achieve it. You just put the score, and it tells you that what kind
Yeah.
of a preparation you have to do to get the score. So
Mhm.
it's a very realistic approach and very realistic process. So if you just trust the process and you follow the module, so it'll bring fruitful results.
Got it. Yeah. Trust in the
You don't
process,
have to
trust
do
in
anything.
yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything extraordinary, because I
Right.
certainly didn't have to.
You see, it takes an extraordinary amount of courage, strength, focus to trust the system and trust in
Yeah,
yourself. Even though it's
yeah,
very easy to hear, it takes an effort to do that. So congratulations to you on that, and Rishabh. Double congratulations again
yeah. Thank
for
you.
this and your baby boy, and
Yeah,
wishing you all the very best from the entire EGMAT
thank
family.
you.
Thank you so much for taking your time out to do this today, and all the very
Yeah,
best for the next steps. Bye.
yeah. Pleasure is all mine. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for helping me achieve the such a good score.
My pleasure, my pleasure.